Oh my, bitch don't like broke boys. So if she leave me, then she fucking with my homeboys. Rich gang, gold band, blue strip gang. Thought the game was on lock to the crib gang. Bust brains, it's a Benz, not a Mustang. Sipping out the bottle, we don't need a cup, man. You can tell by the test that I'm gang banging. That bitch'll fuck you if you broke, but your name ringing. Tired of these niggas claiming my city. I'm the only crip poppin' who is not Nipsey. I been got the strap before they shot 50. Sold crack to a smoker looking like Whitney. Blue rag hanging out the backside, only on the left side, yeah, that's the crip side. Snoop said it first, I just said it better. Fuck a stripper named Fendi in a Gucci sweater. Whole lot of gang shit, gang shit. All my exes pussy good, but they ain't shit. Whole lot of gang shit, gang shit. All my exes pussy good, but they ain't shit. Oh my, it's just me and my woes. I put the bros before hoes, I need racks for a show. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Oh my, it's just me and my woes. I put the bros before hoes, I need racks for a show. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Oh my, mama ain't raise a hoe. Big gun, let it blow just to let a nigga know. Don't try me, I'll take the 12 on the high speed, juice like a hot seed. All black, I think I'm Spike Lee. Is you rolling, bitch? I might be. I don't wear condoms with the wifey, and I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. Jigga on the jet skis, looking crazy. My partner really in the kitchen, out there cooking, baby. Hoes like dope boys. Oh my, bitch don't like broke boys. I said it last verse, I just said it better. Fuck a stripper named Fendi in a Louis sweater. Whole lot of gang shit, gang shit. All my exes pussy good, but they ain't shit. Whole lot of gang shit, gang shit. All my exes pussy good, but they ain't shit. Oh my, it's just me and my woes. I put the bros before hoes, I need racks for a show. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Oh my, it's just me and my woes. I put the bros before hoes, I need racks for a show. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
That's my Geechee. Remix it. Remix! That's my Geechee Gotti.
Ciroc Studios, of course.
Nas is like, I'm not letting Nas down.
Okay.
Smicky Facts. Yeah. YTG. Sosa. Oh, Saint, we did it, man. We here. I'm ready. You ready, Flex?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Yow. Axe Funk Flex, you know, I'm incredible, I'm telling you. Rap optician, let's make a spectacle. Y'all don't wanna see this crack, your peers pressured you. I contact your girl to talk. When she's in the view, that's a vision scheme, like Thanos with the Avengers team. I'm just trying to give you the gems before the credits leave. Y'all dog food, I bet your pedigree. Bars make your ear ring, then you die, it's a death penalty. Folks don't intervene, I don't toast bad aim. So if you don't get smoked, I might nicotine. Patch me in, what's going on, Flex? If I don't get the Porsche next, then I'm copping the Corvette. More or less, I was doing push-ups during raw sex. Hard to breathe, no Cardi B, tired off sex. Wasn't a shot at any amigo. I seen what happened to Flow, got the pettiest ego. Flow, very illegal. Chicks used to strip for me, cause I used to get shorties better than Danny DeVito. Hand me some C-notes while I stand in casinos, holding G money and never ran into Nino. Gave my god brother a kilo and a gram. He'll turn this mother out better than a hammer can. Low key, I said anagram. Break it down. You at the top, I'll trumpet and won't make a sound. At my favorite lounge, Rusty Shank shaved it down. Still a class act, but the blade is brown. Don't play around. They wanna see this black man plummet. Shady style, tell them like a fat man's stomach. Just wait around. Hall of Fame, grew up round guns, word the Corey name. Exciting and flies hard to board a plane, cause I'm getting bored of planes. NBA players married to the game, that's why they call them slaves. Ball and chains. It's all the same, write my own shit while I drive a dope whip. You'll never catch me in Tory lanes. Had to say it, used to have a brownstone. Now it's Bitcoin, working at the Dow Jones. What a rush, counting euros, all color bucks. Partying with Bus a Bus, cold word Reese's for the waitress. That means she bring me everything but a cup. Cold here in these streets, weave shots a bundle up. I'm in the Beamer with the visas, slicker sneakers. I'm sick of sneezing while I'm speaking, got the sickest fevers. These little leaguers got milliliters to kill and leave us. And it ain't fiction either, it's all facts, smart rap squash cats. We all lack a civil leader. Give them a hand, but the middle finger still get between us. Fuck, I let these lyrics feed us. I'm trying to visit Jesus like Nicodemus before he get egregious. Washing tons of rappers, Gillarinas. It's a crime, I've been away for so long. Even Missy misdemeanors. This platform is getting utilized, but why they come up here and give utilized? When these small fries get supersized, sorry if I scrutinize. I'm in the newest ride, Heath Ledger door, so when I'm in that Batmobile, it's like suicide. Haters gotta move aside. My wife said if this beat don't get brutalized and Flex don't make faces, then I ain't do my job. It's just you and I wanna take an intermission and give a lesson so we could be unified. It's crazy how the world's set up. Credit cards are here to get the boys and girls set up. They don't teach you it in school, leave it to the fools, so I'm bringing you the jewels, some ingredients to use. First off, credit is not money. The premise of the card presented is quite funny. You're really not paying for anything like Bucky in Civil War when Cap was desperate to find his buddy. You enter a legal agreement with a bank that got money, so they'll keep you believing that the things that you want are the things that you need, and the procedure is genius. It keeps you in debt, owing pieces and pieces, peep it. I was young with some real enormous limits, 3K and 2K when the second card was given. The payments never late, my credit score was lifting. Are y'all paying attention? This seminar is vicious. Are y'all interested in the metaphors I'm spitting? That went over your head, the metaphor was interest, paying off the minimum. Interest rates had me paying more than I was giving them, lost in the millennium. I still owe money, nobody told me, don't spend what you don't got, phony is phony. Secondly, remember what I said about a credit score? That's the number that the creditors are checking for. So if you're late on your bill, it'll affect your score. Let me break it down a little more. Example, you got a best friend, love him to death. You let him borrow money till his job cut him a check. When he get paid, you get paid. He ain't running from debt. So if he asks you again, he'll hear nothing but yes. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the number he get? A 10, right? Aight, cool. Let's shuffle the deck. Example, you got a best friend, love him to death. You let him borrow money till his job cut him a check. When he get paid, you don't get paid. He running from debt. If he asks you again, he'll get punched in the chest. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the number he get? A 1, right? Exactly. What a regret. His reputation is shot. Please muzzle the tech. He did it to himself, baby. That's Russian roulette. Bad credit is such a bad rep. Anything under 600 is like bad breath. Anything under 500 is like bad sex. Anything under 400, nigga, that's death. The higher the score, the higher the goals. You could take out a loan, go and buy you a home. Walk out the dealership with a title to own. You could even get a job if they hiring, bro. Thirdly, if you really in a hurry to debt, to get your balance on your bill over 30%. And spending money you don't got is a worry and stress, so leave it at 30 like the jersey that Curry collect. If you don't got it, don't use it. I know we like to shop and go stupid. Let your conscience be your guide. Don't do it. Hey. Go into your wallet for the dollars you accruing. I know we sound impossible and foolish, but think about it. When a kid from the hood get a visa in the mail, now the chicks think he good, he get a little gear, and now he think he could. Now he can't get a crib cause he put all the purchases on his card and never paid off shit. Now he getting fired, laid off quick. I know a bunch of cats that put bills in their little kid's name just so the lights stay on the bit. So when the child grows up, he's not a grown up, rectifying with his mom and pop blown up. It's not known, but credit stays with you all of your life. But they don't teach you that though. It's a marketing play, but I'm here. Please listen as I talk on the mic and be responsible. Don't get bought with a price. It's horrible, right? The feds probably call me tonight. Soon as I leave Flex Show, they gon' follow me, right? The smartest advice, make sure you tracking your funds. Don't leave home without it. Be practical, hun. That's American Express, where it's actually from. Discover what a Visa does, like a traveling nun. When it comes to the card, gotta master it, son. Know what's in your wallet like Capital One. Bankruptcy 10 years and bad credit is 7 on your report. Experian, get it, then transmit it, transfer it to TransUnion during the transition, giving you pure Equifax. Man, listen. Wise words from an OG, brother. Get your score to 800 like a toll-free number. I had to teach y'all. It was actually hard. Repeat offender, now let's get back to the bars. Orc, look, I paid 500 for these Y3s. A couple rock concerts for the timepiece. Bands, bar goat on a large boat. Ticket on the dash, only time I had a card note.
Boom. Sup, guys? Watch. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing watch. We're doing a little interview here with my friend Ethan. He's from barsandbattles.com, and he's from the RYD Network. That's Geechee Gotti's home league. He's a journalist, and he's going to do a little interview with me today. So it's for his channel, and I said, why doesn't he just come down and do it live on Ruiner Day? Can have the footage afterwards, chop it up how he likes, and yeah, we can hang out on the roof and smoke a cigar. So that's that. So yeah, Ethan, tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Ethan here from barsandbattles.com, RYD Network, Plug Talk Radio. I just want to say thanks to Avocado for having me on here. Interviewing you and being on Ruin Your Day is, that's knocking out something huge on my bucket list right there. So yeah. I really appreciate you having me out here, man. Absolutely.
Awesome, man.
So if you want, man, we can get right into it.
I'm down. So, yeah, so essentially, I mean, do you want to give a little bit of background about the RYD Network, just for the people that don't know?
Yeah, sure. So the RYD Network, that's Geechee Gotti's home league. You got guys from there like Ron Compton, Coffee Brown, people like that, people you've had on watch already. Like I said, Coffee and Ron.
I thought Ron owned the RYD.
He owns it. He's a part of it. He's like one of the first dudes who started battling on the RYD. He also actually owns it, co-runs it with Kevin Parks. Shouts to Kevin Parks. So yeah, people like that. Just a grassroots league, you know what I'm saying, kind of up there with one of the better grassroots leagues. Like I said, we've produced some dope PGs over the years. Guys like K Philosophy, guys like 6500, different dudes, Despot, bunch of different guys. It's a great homegrown league. So with a lot of
from there too?
I believe so, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
He's battled there a lot, actually. Yeah.
Wasn't fucking Daylight versus Ron on there? We just watched that.
That was West Coast Elites.
Okay.
Another good league. Shout out to them.
Them crossed over. But yeah, there's hella leagues out here in LA, and they're all good too. So it's hard to keep track of which one's which. But yeah, man, that's fucking tight. Shout out the RYD Network. Definitely shout out Ron Compton. I love that guy. He's a fucking awesome dude.
Yeah, we got 2 events we got coming up. We got Magnitude coming up. That's where we have 50 battle rappers from all over the West Coast coming through. 5 on each team. There's 10 teams. Crazy event we got coming up. That's September 15th. And also we've got the Riot Way, King of the Riot coming up. Geechee Gotti's going to be battling on that, and his opponent is crazy. You guys have been asking for this one for a long time, and it's going to happen. But you'll see. We'll be having more announcements on both those.
It's Tiger Tie. Geechee versus Tiger Tie. That'd be kind of fire, actually.
Who knows, man? But I can't say anything right now. Avocado ruined the surprise. Thank you.
That's tight, though.
But we'll see. Yeah, you guys will have some more announcements soon. It's going to be a great battle.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, man, let's get into this. What do you want to know?
Well, let's start out with, tell me where you're from. That kind of thing.
Okay, so originally I'm from Denver, Colorado. Well, it's a small suburb of Denver. It's Castle Rock, so it's like 30 minutes south of Denver. I say Denver just because it's easier fucking to tell people I'm from Denver instead of like, yeah, Castle Rock. People are like, where the fuck's that? I'm like, yeah. So grew up there. I grew up skateboarding there. That's where I kind of like discovered hip hop at a very young age. Discovered battling at a very young age too. I think my first battle that I saw was RZA versus Moon. At that time, it was called Mooney D. Moon is battling now in URL. I still have yet to actually tell him he's the reason why I'm involved in battle rap. But he battled RZA on a BET battle in 1998, and that's the first battle I ever saw. And I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, they're like battling, it's like competitive. RZA's here, and I was a fan of Wu-Tang at the time, so that like got me in tune with it. And yeah, grew up in Denver, went to high school there, was into film at a very early age too. As soon as I could like walk, I was picking up cameras and filming shit. I started in LLC when I was 16 doing skateboard videos. So I produced skateboard videos and sold them throughout like Denver, Albuquerque, Phoenix, Las Vegas, like the 4, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, like those 4 states. And then that brought me out to San Francisco, California, where I went to film school. I went to the Academy of Art University out there, and yeah, so that's what brought me out to Cali. And then I moved to LA, I think 7 or 8 years ago. So I've lived in California right now for 15 years. So I'm 33, that's my age.
So you said that you started out doing skateboard videos, like you said. How did you get into like audio visual work, that kind of thing?
So, I mean, man, like honestly, like I'm like the type of person that like whenever I like something, I always kind of want to make it better. Like, I love skateboarding. I still love it to this day, even though I don't do it. I still watch skate videos religiously, and I'm like super, like, I want to be super involved with skateboarding. I want to do like a watch series actually of us watching skate videos. And yeah, man, it's like I just was like, I wasn't like great at skateboarding. I wasn't like the most athletic skateboarder. Plus, I've like always been kind of like bigger, and like to skateboard really good, you need to be kind of skinnier and smaller, so when you hit the ground, it doesn't hurt as bad. And I was like, okay, well, I can hold a camera, and I just started filming my friends and shit, and it just got more serious where I saved up for a VX1000, and a VX1000 is like the industry standard of what skateboard videos use at the time, like way back in the day. It's mini DV, 3 CCDs, and they use what's called the death lens. It's like this super distorted fisheye. So I got that at like 15, saved up for it, bought that. Ever since then, I just like took off. Like, we fucking made our first skate video at 16, started that LLC, sold it, premiered it at the Bluebird in downtown Denver, and after that I was just like hooked at making videos and shit. Kind of stopped after like I went to college, and like I started like to get into the actual film industry, and I was an actual editor. I like kind of slowed down on making my own content because I was like so concentrated on getting a job in the industry. And I got a job at a really young age too. I was an editor by the time I was 21, and then I was like doing VFX by the time I was 22, working on these high-end suites called Flame Suites. And yeah, I kind of got away from it until like I fucking started seeing, you know, my love for battle rap started coming into play a little bit more and more. I actually filmed a battle when I first moved to San Francisco in 2003. It's online. Not my angle isn't online, but the battle's online. It's that battle. I think it's called Battle at Daly City or something like that, where No Can Do battles XI in the finals and XI wins, or No Can Do wins. And Franco battles Peanut in it. There's a bunch of other crazy battles. Awkward's there. I remember seeing all those fools, and I recognized all of them from like the message boards from mcbattles.com. Like Passwords was there. Pass is gonna hate that I'm telling the story, but he had like a fucking like personalized graffiti airbrushed hat that said Passwords with the Z on it, and I was like, wow, these guys are a trip. But yeah, I mean, like, then it just kind of spun into me like seeing these battle videos online, and since I was like working in the industry and not trying to sound egotistical, but I like knew what I was doing, I saw these videos and I'm like, these don't look very good, you know, they don't look good at all. So I like Philip Drummond, who's a local producer in the Bay Area, had a series called 16 Bars. It was like a competition. So I just like literally showed up with a video camera, and I'm like, I'm just gonna make a video, a highlight reel of this. And it was Thesaurus was there, Bo Rat was there, Franco was there, Orokasaki, and I think somebody else. And I made a video and posted it online. You can actually find it on Ruin Your Day. And it has like this little motion graphics intro to it, which is like, I look back on it now and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's so bad. But everybody saw it at the time, and they were so blown away. They're like, whoa, what's this? It looks like fucking semi-pro. And that's how like I kind of met everybody. I met Lush through that, met them through the message boards, and ever since then, it's like I've had a relationship with like the whole battle scene pretty much.
So you said at the time when you watched Moon, you were a fan of Wu-Tang. How did you get into hip-hop?
I think my friends, really, man. Like, I think like I mean, like, when I was like in 5th grade, I like still remember the first like the music I started listening to was so fucking corny. It's like the first music I listened to was fucking Weird Al Yankovic, because it's like, you know, you're a child, and it's like you have no like taste for actual music. You're just like, this is funny. He's saying funny words. And then I got into like Green Day, Offspring. I bought Smash on a fucking cassette tape. I still fucking love that album.
That was my first Offspring album too.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking a great album, man. Self-Esteem is still a fucking dope-ass song. And then I think my friends got Wu-Tang Forever, the double disc. And I remember, like, I fucking loved that album. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, mixing, like, these, like, martial arts, like, samples and, like, fucking, like, rapping about cool shit. And they sound cool, and there's a lot of them. It was just, like, kind of, like, nothing I had ever heard before. So that's like, Wu-Tang got me into fucking hip hop. And then from then on out, I like would go to like Sam Goody. I don't know if you remember that store, but it's like, it was just like a local CD store, and I would seriously just like bring $100 there and buy every single Wu-Tang like affiliated album, because there was so many. It's like the Killa Bees, You Got, Capadonna, Jizza, RZA. You could just spend so much money on all the affiliate albums. And then I would slowly transition into buying like Capone Noriega, Mobb Deep. I was like heavily into the East Coast hip hop. And yeah, that's it. And then after that, of course, being like the fucking suburban white piece of shit I was, I got into like underground backpacker hip hop, you know, where I was like, the more underground, the better it was. I would like go on Audio Galaxy.
The backpack, yeah.
Yeah, where exactly the more fucking patchouli and fucking hemp I could fit around my neck and dreadlocks, and I would just like go on to Audio Galaxy and look for like the most underground hip hop I could find, and that is honestly what kind of brought me to battle rap, because I found out about Anacon. And Anacon, I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're a group out of the Bay Area. They're originally from the Midwest, but one of the leading founders of it, Dose One, is a battle rapper, and he battled at Scribble Jam. He battled Eminem at Scribble Jam. He battled Juice at Scribble Jam. And so that's how I found out about Scribble Jam. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I was at an Atmosphere show, and I bought Scribble Jam 2001, the VHS. And I remember putting it in, and Mac Lethal versus Kashmir the Professional was the first battle up, and Mac Lethal fucking like bodies him. When you watch that battle today, it's like kind of fucking hella racist and shit, and it's definitely not. It's like faux pas as fuck when you watch it in this today's climate. But back then it was like, you know, all bets are off, all gloves are off. Praise the white piece of shit up there on stage. But yeah, that really got me into battle rap, and seeing like Sage Francis, Slug, Jin, Dose, Idea, all those guys on the stage like battling. That like. I was like, wow, this is fucking cool. And it was like freestyle battling too at the time. So yeah, that got me into it. And then I actually started rapping too myself. And I was fucking trash. I was so
gotta
bad.
Find those tapes.
Oh god, no.
Now you got me looking.
You know what?
Now I gotta find that.
Ilmac has actually heard me rap before. Fucking my friend Jeff, who films all the fucking battles with me. He like was over here filming a music video with Ilmac, and he fucking threw me under the bus, and I wasn't here. And he's like, yo, you want to hear Kyle rap? And he has some of it on his computer, and he played this terrible song that I'd never want to fucking ever like see the light of day. It's so horrible. The content is very offensive. And yeah, Ilmac like made an Instagram video of it. So, and then I also battled in like 2001. Also, I freestyle battled, and I was trash too. So, but yeah, that's how I got into hip hop. Long-winded story.
Can't freestyle, can't rap on beat. No hope.
Yeah,
No hope.
I think I could rap on beat, man, but I don't sound cool. And that's the thing about like, I think to be a rapper, you need to sound cool no matter what you say, because that's what drew me into hip hop, is fools saying cool shit. I didn't know what fucking Wu-Tang, the members were saying. I didn't know fucking about, what is it, Iron literally just talked to me about this, higher mathematics, or like the 5%er, where it's like arm, leg, arm, head, like that thing, like the 5% of like your body, and like you call it 7 o'clock like the God hour and stuff. Like that shit at that age went way over my head. It wasn't until fucking literally this weekend when I was talking to Iron Solomon that he was explaining the God hour being 7 o'clock. I was like, man, I always wondered what the fuck they were talking about. Meet me at the God hour. So it's not like I fucking understood the lyrical content of the music, but they sounded tight. And that's always what has driven me to like hip hop, and even battling too. Like some of the shit I like the most in battle rappers is them saying shit and sounding cool. All my favorite battle rappers have that. Twerk, Redala's, Pass, all the Philly rappers, Ines, even Mook, Lux, like they say shit, and I necessarily don't think it's like the most lyrical or fucking insane stuff, but if you can say something and make it sound hella cool, that's all that matters to me, you know?
So you said the first battle you ever saw was a moon battle, and then you said you were into Scribble Jam. Kind of break down a little bit how, like the timeline at least, of how you got into battle rap, like from that moon battle onto like getting into Scribble Jam.
Yeah, so saw the moon battle, and that's kind of like what like clued me into battle rap existing. And then from like 98 till around 2000, I didn't really know too much about it, but I got into like Anacon and like underground hip hop, and I realized that Dose One battled, and I still didn't really understand the concept of battle rap, because I remember talking to my friend and him being like, oh, Dose actually battled Eminem. I'm like, well, Dose One must have served the fuck out of him, because, you know, I just like Dose more. And my friend's actually like, nah, Eminem is like more of a battle rapper than Dose One is. And then, yeah, like I said, at this Atmosphere show, Atmosphere toured with Mr. Dibbs, and Mr. Dibbs is like one of the people that threw Scribble Jam. So they were selling the Scribble Jam VHS tapes on their tour, because Atmosphere was pushing that, like they were heavily involved. It's like the Midwest scene. And I bought it just because I was like, oh, I've heard about this. My friends actually went to, I think they went to that year. Yeah, and I put it in and fucking fell in love. Like, I watched the whole thing religiously. I used to watch that VHS tape so fucking much.
How old were you when all this was going on?
2001. I graduated high school 2003, so 18. 17, 16. I was like 15, 16, like that time. That's like when I battled too. Was when I was 15 or 16 years old. But yeah, that's when I first got into it, and I was like in love. And then I went to Scribble Jam 2002. Drove out there to Cincinnati, Ohio from Denver. I went to Scribble Jam 2003 as well, and then I didn't go back to Scribble Jam until 2008. So yeah, and going to those Scribble Jams was also like hella pivotal too, and like me like really falling in love with battle rap. And then like after that, then that's when like the WRCs came. That's when the Jump Off came into play, WRCs, and like when the WRCs like fucking came into the scene, that's like when I really like got super fanned out on battle rap, you know. And like how they were like releasing that shit was like so different. Like nobody had done anything like that, where it was like weekly releases, like I think it was a day, like every single day a new battle would drop on their player.
Gee, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
I missed that. I missed those days.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Those days.
Because I mean, they had so many battles. You know, those fools battled like 18 times in a day. They battled every team twice. So it's like just like Jump Off and Harry were just like they were just content making machines at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much how step by step how I got involved with battle rap. And then, you know, I met everybody through message boards and yada yada.
So I looked you up, and you've done like movies and shit, like
Yeah.
like actual movies, like
Yeah, I have.
blockbuster movies.
Yep.
Tell me about some of the movies you've done.
Okay. Yeah, I've you know, I have a career in VFX, visual effects. I do compositing for a day job. It's not necessarily the best thing in the world, but it has paid the bills for the past 12 years of my life, so that's a cool thing. But I've worked on more movies than I can fucking name, man. I'm like, I like forget which movie I work on because I work on so many. I mean,
About some of the big ones.
well, the first movie I ever worked on was Die Hard 4, and Fantastic Four, the one with Jessica Alba. And then I worked on Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. This year, what I've worked on that's been super big. I can't really say the stuff I worked on recently though, because it's all Marvel. So I've signed NDAs, so I can't like legally say, which is so fucking lame. But
We can't say it's Marvel. Apparently, we can say that.
Okay, well, I worked on something that's not Marvel. I worked
Okay,
on
there
a
you go.
DC movie. I worked on Batman versus
Okay.
Superman.
Okay.
But I can't say what I did on that because it's like the guy that I worked on doesn't even know what I did on him. And I wish I could talk about it because it's so fucking funny what I actually did to this guy. But yeah, I mean, I work on tons and tons and tons of movies, man, that I forget like what I worked on until I see trailers for them, and I'm like, why does this look familiar? And I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking worked on that. So yeah.
So are you still in the industry? I mean, obviously you just did
Yeah,
Batman versus
yep.
Superman.
The
Are
visual
you-
effects studio I work at is
you're
like literally
still-
2 blocks
okay.
away. Yeah, so I'm still doing VFX.
How do you fit battle rap, all the events you go to, with that schedule of doing movies?
Yeah, it's rough. It's hard, man. I mean, my relationships have been stressed out, to say the least, because of it. I work constantly, man. Like, I don't, like, do a lot of stuff for, like, fun, quote-unquote. You know, it's like whenever I'm like, oh, I have a weekend off. Like, my ex-girlfriend used to constantly get mad at me because I'm like, I have a weekend off. Let's shoot fucking 5 music videos in a weekend. Oh, I have a weekend off. Let's fucking go shoot a documentary. You know, I never like, oh, I have a weekend off. Man, let's just like chill and like do laundry or like get shit done that I need to get done. I'm always in like passion work mode, especially with battle rap. So yeah, it's hard to fit my like life's passion, which is battle rap, in between VFX. It's gotten to the point where it's like I am gonna have to quit VFX in the near future for sure. The only thing is it's hard for me to justify that because it's like income, and then like not having that income anymore is scary. Like, you know, it's like battle rap pays me well, pays me good. I'm able to support my family through battle rap. I employ my younger brother. He's actually a full-time editor for Ruiner Day. I'm teaching him how to edit, and I help out all my friends. None of my friends that shoot battle rap with me are fans of battle rap. They're not like, I love battle rap. They're all people that know how to do film, and they're really good at film, and I like roped them into shooting battle rap with me, and, you know, pay them a rate. So it's gonna get to a point where it's like I'm gonna need to quit VFX and do battle rap full time. It's just gonna have to like make sense financially. But yeah, it's gonna be a sacrifice. But I want to do that because battle rap is I've like come to terms with battle rap being my life's full-time passion. Like, this is like what I was meant to do. This is like what I'm gonna do forever. You know, it's like I love this, and I've spent a lot of time in my life like being like, nah, battle rap's lame. Like, you know, you have like this like everybody has self-hatred in battle rap. Like even battle rappers, like they're like afraid to admit they're battle rappers, or they're afraid that they like battle rap, which I find so silly. Because as you mature, it's like, who cares, man? You like this. Like, this is a legit art form, and it has, you know, its legit place as any art form does. There's no shame in saying that you're a fan of this shit. And I always used to have that shame of like, oh, I film battle rap, and I don't make a lot of money doing it. Like when I first started it, I was losing money every single time I filmed an event, because it's like pay for gas, pay for a hotel, and then especially when I was like when I was throwing my own events at the bunker, I was fucking going broke every single month. And this is with me having VFX income paying for it. And it's like, and I'm not going to say my income at VFX, but I make good money doing it, and I was going broke every single month doing it. So it's like, it's hard to you know, like definitely like make that feeling sit well with you when you're like losing money. But I've come to terms that this is my life calling, and like it's not going to be complete until I like put 1,000% into it. And doing VFX and doing battle rap, I'm not putting 1,000% into it. So I just gotta like wait for the right time to make that move. But in the near future, I'm definitely gonna do battle rap full time.
So you mentioned your first gig that you did, the first battle. Tell me about those first couple of gigs.
The first battles I did? Hold on, I'm gonna adjust this really fast. Brighten this up for y'all. All right, that's better. Okay. First couple of events. Yeah, the first event I ever filmed was Battle of the Bay 1. Actually, that's not true. The first events I ever filmed was the 16 bars one. I filmed a Scribble Jam prelim. I forgot who won. I think Dirtbag Dan beat Reverse Live, not even rapping. Dirtbag Dan, do you know what a rope-a-dope is? It's where you like distract your opponent by doing something else. But he like did a thread the needle, and he basically was doing this where you do this and then you jump back through your leg, holding your foot still.
So and that won a rap battle?
And he won the round doing that, because like Reverse Live was rapping at him, and Dirtbag Dan's like, look at me everyone, and did that, and everybody's like, he wins, he just did that. That was so crazy. And that started Dan on his winning streak that might not have been justified 100% of the time. But yeah, so my first a cappella battle that I filmed though was Battle of the Bay 1 with Thesaurus versus Madness, Kodiak RIP versus Franco, XT RIP versus D-Lore, Tantrum versus Reverse Live, Pass versus Illusion Z, Dirtbag Dan versus The Coroner, and Frank Stacks versus S-Rock. And I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything else. Oh, Subverse versus Flow too was on there. So that was the full card.
So tell me about Fresh Coast. I mean, you did the documentary. You've been around through that whole era. You know, tell us about that era in battle rap for you.
So Fresh Coast was a documentary I made. I met Philip Drummond through the message boards, and he's this guy that's been filming battle rap for hella long. He filmed all these like underground freestyle battles. So he kind of just had like this huge archive of footage of like freestyle battle footage that kind of like had never seen the light of day. And what he used to do actually was like make DVDs and sell them. That was like his hustle. And he just hit me up because he saw me make that 16 bars video, and he's like, oh, this guy's talented. He's like, do you want to make a full-length documentary about the West Coast battle scene? And I'm like, yeah, that actually sounds like really interesting to me. And that was the first like battle rap related thing I ever did after the 16 bars. And it was a full feature documentary. It was 93 minutes long. It almost got into fucking South by Southwest. It got into a film festival in Hawaii. And yeah, it took me like 8 months to make. I filmed all the interviews in a day with like the source. I flew No Can Do up to the Bay from LA. And that was the first time I was like meeting a lot of those fools. And through that, I filmed Battle of the Bay 1 as an agreement that I would film it on the pretense of being able to use that footage in Fresh Coast. So I had all this footage, edited it together. It took me like 4 months in post to make. Editing documentaries is a fucking goddamn nightmare. That's why whenever anybody like approaches me like, hey, you should do another documentary about like King of the Dot or Grind Time, I'm like, fuck no. Like that took me so long to do Fresh Coast, and like it was cool at the end of the day, but I'm much more on the wavelength nowadays of like Ruin Your Day and content that I can edit really fast and put out there. Like that to me is much more gratifying and way more fun to do. It's like the thing that I don't like about visual effects is like when we spend so long on just one shot and I'm staring at like somebody's fucking arm for like fucking a month and they're like, or like the hair detail in the one shot isn't good, or the explosion doesn't look that good, and it's just like revamping the same shit over and over again to the point that you fucking like want to poke your eyes out. That's how I felt editing Fresh Coast, is like I just had so many revisions and notes and like being really tough on myself. So yeah, then we printed up the DVDs. I think we sold like 300 like worldwide. Like I had people like in Estonia, Ethiopia, Russia, South Africa, Australia, the UK, blah blah blah, buy them, and I would just go to the mailbox or the post office every single day on my lunch break doing VFX in Hollywood at the time, and just ship out like DVDs fucking every single day. And yeah, that kind of is what got me noticed, I guess, like as being like a bigger filmer, like by a lot of people, you know. So yeah, it's still dope. I still watch that fucking documentary and still kind of like semi-proud of it. I see stuff I did, I'm like, oh, that still like looks kind of good. Or like the motion graphics I do, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know, that I did that at that time.
What about that era? I mean, it was kind of one of the prime times of the West Coast of the scene. It's basically the foundation of what we have going on here today.
Yeah, I mean, it was heavily based upon like the WRCs and Thesaurus and Ilmax run. You know, they were like the fucking top guys in the world at that time. And like when they won the WRCs, there was nothing like that where people won that much money from one competition. Scribble Jam was kind of big, but it wasn't until Scribble Jam 2004 or 5. 2005 is the year that Justice won, and that prize money was $10K, and it was the first WRCs was 2006, and the prize was $10K again, and then 2007 the prize was $50,000, which is fucking insane. So I came into the scene after 2007. So yeah, the scene out here was established. It was heavily based in freestyling, like, and the West Coast's terminology of freestyling is different than the rest of the world's terminology of freestyling, kind of to a degree, where it's like freestyling in the West Coast is more based on like cipher rhythm and feeling in the moment and coming like really like thinking of stuff on the spot, incorporating some stuff in that you like have premeditated, but mostly it's like all about thinking free and kind of like just saying what's coming and learning how to fit that into a rhyme scheme on the spot. Where the East Coast freestyling is like just like rap right now, spit a verse right now. It's free. It's a freestyle. Like what you're getting right now is a free verse, essentially. Neither is right or wrong, but that was just kind of the West Coast definition of it at the time. So all the battles that happened out here, especially in like the beat freestyle era, were all like kind of like off the top type of shit. So yeah, and that's where you found a lot of people like from Tourette's Without Regrets. That was a show in Oakland that was like this like crazy circus sideshow that like had also a rap battle. Like they would have like poetry, burlesque dancing, like and like fucking fire breathers, and then a rap battle, and it was fucking crazy, man. It was so much fun, and that's where Thesaurus really like harnessed his craft and got like hella good. Bo Rat also. There's a bunch of people that actually battled there that didn't really make the transition into acapella battling. Like Infinite was somebody that was there all the time. Rukusaki. But yeah, that's like what it was heavily based on at the time.
So tell me how you got involved with King of the Dot. Like you said, you did Back to Basics, but you ended up being the guy who's done most of their work in these last couple of years. So how did that relationship happen?
So I was filming for Grind Time, and obviously I met Organic at Battle of the Bay 5. But before I met him at the Battle of the Bay 5, we like had conversations online through the message boards, through rapmusic.com, and actually we had a couple like kind of hostile conversations. I used to be like a fucking dick online. I mean, I'm a fucking like I was on the message boards. Whenever you come from the message boards, at one point in time you were a troll. You were a troll, like you started off like just trolling people because it's so easy and fun. And I remember specifically like one time like I was filming for Grind Time, and you know, like being from the Fresh Coast style, like my whole style was kind of like outlandish bright colors, like Oakland hyphy movement. Everything's bright and big, like super like long shirts and shit. So like all the colors in the Fresh Coast documentary are bright, like purples, pinks, turquoise, green, cyan. And then so that's like a lot of my design sense. And I remember like there was a King of the Dot battle where it's like the winner gets a free shirt. And I remember like I posted on rapmusic.com, I'm like, oh wow, the winner gets a free shirt, fuck yeah, like clowning Organic. And Organic is like, would you have you been happier if it was purple? And I was like, whatever, fuck you. But yeah, we were like had that little back and forth, and then I met him when he came out to Battle of the Bay 5, and he was like a hella cool guy. Met Ryan PvP, who was at the time working with King of the Dot. So established the relationship there, and then it kind of like it just kind of stayed that way. Like I was kind of just always like good friends with Organic. I thought he was like a really cool guy. I always really liked King of the Dot, and then they contacted me to do the intro to Thesaurus versus Holohan. So I actually did that intro. I didn't film that battle, but I did that motion graphics intro where it has like the Gangs in New York speech, and they like made this custom beat and like cut a bunch of lyrics that like Thesaurus and Holohan said. And then that kind of like was the norm. They would always come to me like, oh, do these motion graphics intros, and I kind of became like the intro guy, you know. And then it wasn't until World Domination 1 that they were like, I was like, wow, this card is crazy, and I was giving it a lot of praise. I was like, this card is so insane. And that was like right around the time I filmed MOB, and they're like, do you just want to like come up and film it? And at the time they had another filmer, and they're like, okay, this is kind of like awkward because we have this other guy that films for us full time. We don't want to like, you know, be like, oh, you're not filming this event because like you're not as good and this guy's way better. But I was like, okay, so like you guys work that out. And they were like, yeah, we'll just tell this guy to take a break for this event. And his name was P. Shout out P, you're the fucking man. And yeah, I came up and filmed with him for like the next couple events, and then that's how the relationship with King of the Dot started. And they did like really good business, which, you know, at the time, Grind Time and King of the Dot, it was like King of the Dot was obviously the superior person in doing business because Grind Time was like run by like 17 million different people. So it's like you're gonna get people that operate in different senses business-wise. So I just preferred working with King of the Dot, and then, you know, multiple things happened with Grind Time, and I was over filmed with Grind Time. Like, I'll never film with you guys again. And then I was strictly filming with King of the Dot for like a really long time. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of like thought that I was King of the Dot staff. You know, they're like, oh, he's King of the Dot staff. You know, like I never was King of the Dot staff. I worked for them a great deal, through events for them for a lot, and I love those guys still to this day. I fucking love King of the Dot. That's like, I still feel like that's my baby in a sense. Like I'm like, like when I see things, I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do this better, or like, you know, this, you know. And I'm still really glad they hired me for all the events. But yeah, like I love those early days of working with them. World Dom 1, World Dom 2. And that was like the period of when like I kind of had a hate-love relationship with battle rap, of like when I was like losing a lot of money and also like working really hard at it, and my friends weren't really supportive of me doing this strange thing. You know, they didn't see a lot of money in it or didn't see a future in it. So I like quit multiple times. Like I think I've quit filming battle rap like 4 or 5 times, man, and made it public too. Like I'm like Jay-Z. I'm like, I'm never doing this shit again. And then like fucking a week later, Organic will be like, oh, we got Blackout 2, and we have like Holohan versus Cortez, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll fucking film that card, whatever. But yeah, man, that's how the relationship with King of the Dot started.
Now, tell me about how you got involved with Smack.
How I got involved with Smack. Okay, so, always been a huge fan of Smack, obviously. Like, I mean, like, I saw his battles that he was filming of, like, you know, Mook and Sirius, like, way before I was, like, even thinking about being involved with battle rap. And especially Dose and Math and the Iron Math battle, too. So I always like kind of looked up to him because he's actually the only person in battle rap that's been filming battle rap longer than I have, is Smack, because he was the one holding the cameras. He actually used to do all the editing too for all the Smack DVDs and shit. And also, I think Smack used to edit all the early Smack battles too, the URL Smack battles. He was doing the editing for, which is fucking insane because it's just crazy to think somebody as cool as Smack, like he's like the coolest person on fucking planet Earth, is also like a AV guy too, you know. It's like very interesting juxtaposition.
When I think about it, he was one of the first media people there was. I mean, he was doing interviews and things like that. Even before, like what he always says was the battles was just something I threw on there. All my stuff was music videos,
right?
interviews.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, and I remember like I watched a video of like, I forgot who they were interviewing, but Beasley's doing the interview too. You could hear Beasley's voice because Beasley's voice is very distinct and very noticeable. And I remember watching it. It's hella old. It's like from 2005, and Beasley's doing the interview. And he's like, it's kind of funny because you can like hear him being a little more rough around the edges too. He's not as professional as he is now. But yeah, those guys have been around for a fucking minute. So I always looked up to Smack and URL, and I always admired like what they did, how they came into battle rap, and basically just like their marketing campaign of being like, we're the best, we're the fucking best. Nobody's better than us, and it worked. And it's like their marketing and business plan, like everything worked for them really good. And they backed it up with doing good business. So Traffic 3 was the first event I filmed for them. I actually met Beasley at Traffic 2. It was at the Airliner, which is down the street from my ex-girlfriend's house, which is where I was living at the time. I came, I paid to get in. I was like, hey, I just want to watch, a Smack event. This is the first Smack event I've been to. And I met I met Beasley, and I actually helped them out that night because they didn't have lights. They didn't have any LED lights. And I was like, oh, I have them. Do you want to just use mine? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I actually brought my lights. They used them inside for Danny Myers versus Young Cannon, Pass versus Briz Rothstein. And I had Michael, shout out HBY, he used my tripod too. So I kind of just gave them equipment because I didn't want the event to be horrible or suck. I was like, yeah, do this. And then Traffic 3, actually, I have to give a lot of the praise to Disaster for getting me involved with Smack, because one of his requirements actually to battle on URL was to have me film it. He's like, you need this guy to film your battles because I don't do any battles that are not filmed by Avocado. Diz has always been in my corner, man. He's seen the importance of why you need to have your footage look good, because he's battled on every single league around the world, and he's had footage look really bad, and it's just not a good look when your product is being presented shitty. It would be like if fucking Migos, Future, Drake had a fucking 4-track mix of something. Nowadays, that would probably be hella tight if they did that, but I mean, if it was poor audio quality. So Diz actually put that in URL's ear, and they hit me up, and from then on out, we worked with them, and it was fucking worked so good. They're so fucking professional. I can't even tell you, it's crazy. They operate like a real business, and I've been filming them with them every single month since October of last year. So almost a year I've been filming with them, and we've done a battle every single month, if not 2 battles a month, live, pay-per-view, streams. So it's been nuts. Been a crazy ride.
Now, you said Disaster requested you. You said that he's someone who knows the importance of having good footage. What does Disaster look for in good footage? How do you, make his angles look right? You know what I'm saying? I
mean, I don't think he looks for anything in particular. I just know how crazy he is and how much of a performer he is, and I don't know. I just think he has an eye for quality, really, and I think that's it. He's a smart guy. He's a really smart individual. So I think that was it. He just wanted his product to look good, and he knew that him getting on URL was a big look, and especially battling Tay-Rock. So he wanted to put his best foot forward. And I think subconsciously he also wants the West Coast to look really good too. So that's why he wanted to get me on, because there was a lot of people on that card. Geechee B.Rum, Danny, it was a fucking heavy West Coast card, and they wanted to look the best, and I think that event looks really, really fucking good. So yeah, I was happy how it turned out.
I would definitely agree on that, and I think the fans would agree with me also in saying that I've never seen battle rap look as good as it does right now on Smack. Smack and King of the Dot, obviously the footage is crazy because you're the one who's doing it, and it hasn't looked better, honestly.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
I mean, would you say the same thing? I mean, is there any other leagues out there that are putting in good footage as good as yours?
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I'm not gonna say it's as good or worse or better, but there's people that put out really good looking stuff. Liam Bagnall has always been doing a good job for Don't Flop. He doesn't do battles anymore, but Critical, who he filmed for Base Mentality, did good. Twiz, I don't really know what's up with Twiz, man. I don't know why he's not filming battle rap anymore, but when he did his shit, he was it was always AVO and Twiz, they're the best guys, and he did shit way differently than I would do it, and that's why it was so cool that there was somebody out there that wasn't we weren't just replicating each other. He was doing different shit and I was doing different shit, and I like that there's different styles, and shout out John Doe too. He does shit that I wouldn't necessarily do on Black Ice Cartel. So all those fools are hella dope. Yeah, fucking Twiz killed a lot of the URL battles. My 2 favorite events that they ever did was the event, and I always fuck this up, I don't know if it was Gnome or Summer Madness, is the event with B-Magic and Conceited, Hitman and Sue Surf. That battle, that whole event looks fucking phenomenal. The audio sounds good, and also the event that DNA battled Ill Will at both look fucking crazy. I still look at that footage and being damn, you guys fucking knocked it out of the park with not only the angles, the color grading, the audio, not violating the 180-degree rule. Everything was fucking fire about that, man.
So tell me about creating Ruin Your Day. It's like, what, 3-4 years old, something like that?
Oh, I think it's older than that, actually, man. I think it might.
As far as the channel goes, or something like what came first, the channel or the brand? I mean, what?
The
tell me
channel.
about,
So
right.
so basically, Ruin Your Day, I think started in like 2012. We could probably actually like look up. Let's look up what the oldest battle was that we uploaded, because you can do that. You can like sort them by upload date. All right, here we go. Newest, where is it? Oh, what the fuck? I thought you can like.
I would think there'd be an oldest section too.
Yeah, there is, but I think it's not when you're actually like
Oh, okay.
on your own channel. But anyways, regardless, the oldest battle that, or the year that I started Ruin Your Day, I think was 2012, and it started basically as a thing to upload all these like old freestyle battles that I had from Fresh Coast that like just hadn't been uploaded, and I'm like, oh, I have all this old footage. Why don't I just upload it? Because it's like I knew King of the Dot wasn't gonna want it. I knew no other league was gonna want this footage, and the idea behind the name Ruin Your Day was like, I don't know if you've done this, but I find myself doing this pretty often when I'm fucking super bored and going through YouTube. I'm like, I'll click on a video, and then I'll click on another video, and then I'll click on a video, and before or not, I'm watching fucking like a bunch of cats eat pizza or something,
right.
and I'm just like, fuck it, it's
get
like
to some weird
2
places.
a.m.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
You
like
get
I
to some-
snap out of it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing
You
this?
get to some weird places. On the
Yeah,
internet.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You always see those
Right,
comments like, okay, I found the dark corner of YouTube or something like that, and that's what I wanted Ruin Your Day to mean. It's like, just ruin your fucking day with this channel. Like, go down a click hole, like click a bunch of fucking videos and fucking like eviscerate your day on YouTube. So that was the idea behind the name. And also, I kind of like the name too because you could put it on clothing and like it has no relation to battle rap. It's like, oh, that's funny. It says Ruin Your Day, haha, you know, like. So, yeah, that's how the channel started.
So it started out as a place for, like you said, behind the scenes footage, that kind of thing, old battles.
Yeah.
How did it get into Daily Spice? How did it get into battles? How did it get into like the battles that you do now, like the one, what was it, Ronnie versus Random, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Geechee versus Reverse Line.
Yeah.
And then Watch Live. How did it get into those kind of segments?
Yeah. So, honestly, by accident. Like, all this was a fucking accident. Like, Watch was an accident. Watch was just like, I was like hanging out with Ilmac and Chase a lot, like shooting, Raising the Bar, and like just because like Ilmac just moved to LA, and I've been friends with that fool for a while, and I was helping him out with music videos. I was like letting him use my Red and stuff, and I was like, hey man, like, do you want to like just like drink one day and fucking film us watching battles and we could just talk about it? And like seriously, there was no like, I have a brilliant idea, or of like, I've seen reaction videos. Like, I didn't even fucking know what reaction videos were. I was just like, okay, I don't know, like maybe this will be funny. And I thought people were gonna hate it, to be honest, when I uploaded it, because like we were kind of going in on certain things that were like super faux pas. And yeah, that first Watch video we did was Soul versus Real Deal, and I remember like people fucking loved it. And at the time, I wasn't doing them live. I was doing them just like filming them, then editing them, which was a fucking huge pain in the ass. Because whenever we stopped the battle, I had to like fucking frame hold the clip until we hit spacebar again and like redo it. And then Daily Spice came out of me just being like, oh, there was this one time that Grant almost fought this dude at Battle of the Bay 6. Wouldn't it be funny just to fucking make a video of that? And then we could just have this series of just little funny moments in battle rap, because there was all these like super hilarious moments that I thought were fucking super funny. So that's how Daily Spice got birthed. And yeah, Daily Spice has definitely like gotten me into a lot of trouble because it's like highlighted some like bad parts about battle rap. But Watch has been always good, and especially when Jeff, my friend who films all these battles with me, pushed me into doing it live. He was like, you need to do this live. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, we'll do this live. When I started doing it live, that's when it like fucking took off. I remember those like first couple live sessions, like, you know, there's like 220 people watching this right now. Like the first live sessions I did for Watch, there was 1,000 people in there every time. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy, you know, because it was new and exciting. You know, it's tapered off now, but yeah, that's where Watch and like Daily Spice, and then the battles came into play, where I was like, I just want to shoot a battle on the Alexa, and that's what Human versus Ronnie and Reverse Live versus Geechee Gotti was filmed on. Was this camera called the Alexa, and that's what feature films are shot on. They're all shot on Alexa. Like Jeff used to own one. He doesn't own one anymore, but he owned one for a little bit. I'm like, hey, let's shoot a battle on it. Fuck it, like it's never been done before. Let's light it really cool. We can shoot it in my apartment. And yeah, that's how the battles got put in, and then the fucking balloon battle came into play on a fucking joke too. Of like me and Stalk were returning from Battle of the Zay, and we're like, wouldn't it be funny if we just like did the fucking balloon battle, because that's been a long time joke from Matt Ills of like he like thought it was actually like cool to do a hot air balloon battle, like he wanted to do it with like Johnny Storm and High Collide. And I was like, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Why would that be fucking cool? That's like the silliest idea in the world. It's like a mockery. And then I was talking to Stock. I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we just did it? And then I don't know why the first person I thought of was Thesaurus. And I'm like, Thesaurus, I like called him. I'm like, you down to battle Stock in a hot air balloon? And he's just like, yes. And so from that day on out, we just planned it, fucking did it, premiered it that day. We filmed it that morning, like 5 a.m. And then I edited it at the like fucking lounge, the like airplane lounge they have at the fucking balloon place. And then I uploaded it that day, and we premiered it live on Ruiner Day. And ever since then, I've just been like a fan of doing like different fun shit. Like there's so much more stuff I want to do. It's kind of getting to a point where it's not going to really be battle rap related. Like I want to do series I wanted to do like a series called Do Good, and it's just about doing good. And it's like I would like fucking film myself like fucking like if there's a pothole right there, like put a pot, like fill the pothole or something, and
literally doing good.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And you can call that exploitative because it's like I am filming myself putting it up. But my point of that would be like film yourself doing something good and send it in to me, and I'll post it. Like because I just want to like promote positivity and doing good to other people also. And yeah, that's my point of this channel. I want to make this channel kind of a little bit bigger than battle rap. Not necessarily go to a demographic that people that are my core fan base would be like, why the hell is Avocado like giving like LOM clothing to homeless people or something, you know? But, you know, it would like be roped in through that, like it's like LOM. So it's like the, you know, the relations there. So yeah, that's like kind of like the future of Ruiner Day. I'm kind of trying to expand it into different demographics essentially.
Now you've got me thinking about the next time I'm in LA and I see a bunch of homeless people. They're gonna be wearing LOM clothing.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hollow would be down. I told that fool like that. Like I used to do that shit all the time. Like he still does it to this day. He helps out just random people, and like I'm always like, dude, film it. Film yourself doing that. Like I know you feel a certain way about being like, oh, I'm just filming it to be like I'm a good person, love me. But I'm like, that encourages other people to do that, because then they see you doing that. I know when I see you doing that shit, I want to be a better person, you know? Like, and that's all that matters at the end of the day in my book.
So break down for me like all the work that goes into doing an event. Like break down what you have to do pre-production, during the event, post-production. Like what actually goes into doing like a Summer Madness like you just did, something like that.
A lot. A lot nowadays. Like, whew, that's the thing, man. Like a lot of people always be like, when I started film for URL, like a couple of people were like, man, don't let them see the equipment you use. They're just going to use you for one event and then buy the exact same equipment and never use you again. And I'm like, nobody can replicate what we do, because it's like the years of experience, and like we do hella R&D, man. Like we do so many tests. We fucking like everything from like the color of like the battle is like a perfected thing. Like it's not just something that we do on the fly. Like we perfect it. The lighting is perfected. The lights we use for battles is specifically for battle rap. Everything is like a fucking working machine that we like have R&D to the point of working perfectly. So that ahead of time gets thought out. Like when we book an event, we're like, okay, where's the venue? We go to the venue early, do a plan of like how we're gonna do it. And yeah, usually we don't have a lot of time setting up. Luckily in Summer Madness 7, the venue was like hella cool, and they let us set up a day early, which never has happened. That's never fucking happened. So that event was actually very non-stressful. It was awesome. Like everything on our end worked really good, and I think it was the fucking result of Initiation sucking so much. Initiation, that the venue was like not easy to work with. They didn't have AC.
I'm sweating just thinking about.
Yeah, it was terrible, dude. It was terrible. Like, and that's happened so many times where the venue doesn't have AC, and you know what they do? They actually do fucking have AC. They turn the AC off so people will buy more drinks.
Yep.
So fucked up. Venues, they're all fucking vultures, man, for the most part. But yeah, man, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and then like after we film the event, it's not over. That's when the work fucking actually begins, because I have to edit all this shit. I have to take it home, edit it, fucking color grade everything, put graphics over it, get Beasley to do a tail of the tape, fucking export it, upload it, and then do the next one and the next one and the next one. So it's quite a bit of work. And then like on the opposite end, I don't edit trailers for URL. They have Derez do it, who's a really talented editor out of Phoenix. And he edits so many trailers, man. Like I feel like every other day he's putting up a new trailer for like their next event, for the next battle. They edit a trailer for every single battle coming up. So yeah, it's a lot of work, man. A lot of post-production work.
So pay-per-views have kind of changed the way, it's changed the whole battle rap landscape pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, events have gotten a lot bigger within the last year. I mean, you could tell Summer Madness 7 looks a lot different than 6, and going forward, all these events are looking different. Would you say that it's for better or for worse? Because there have been some drawbacks. I mean, views, while battle rap is more visible than it's ever been, views on YouTube are lower. There's a couple things that go along with it. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of people like shouting out the result on Facebook saying, oh, so-and-so won. And then when the footage comes out, it's not the same as what people were saying a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So for better or for worse, do you think pay-per-views have really changed battle rap?
Yeah, I think if anything, they've changed battle rap for the better, because I was always a proponent for live pay-per-views. I was the one that pushed King of the Dot into doing live stuff, because they were on the tip of, we need to do VOD because it's easier, it's reliable. Like the first live pay-per-view I did was Cannabis versus Diz, and that was like just me typically being ambitious, and I hired a company to help me out with it. I knew nothing about streaming at the time, and that was also when streaming was a lot different than today. Today, streaming is fucking at your fingertips. Like you could go live on fucking Instagram right now. Like anybody can go to live on their fucking phone. That wasn't possible back in Diz versus Cannabis. Hired a company, they shit the bed, they did a really fucking terrible job. We paid them a lot of money to fuck up. And that's actually what's happened with URL too. URL like hired a company repeatedly in New York that's shit the fucking bed as well. And yeah, I think I liked the challenge, and I was like, I want to like put my foot into this and like give fans live pay-per-view, because that's how it should be viewed. Every sporting event is live. Everything is live. You're a football fan. We're just talking about this. Do you watch games over again repeatedly? You watch them. You probably watch. Do you watch Red Zone?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have it, like Red Zone, you have to pay extra for it. But
no.
I mean, like if it's available, like sometimes you watch Red Zone.
Do you watch the games over again?
No, I don't really watch the
Okay,
game over again.
so that's
the only reason you watch Red Zone is to like see all the scoring plays.
Yeah.
That's it's a fantasy thing.
That's
like
my point. Is I watch Red Zone because it's all live happening when it's happening live in front of you. Same with fights. Same with UFC. Same with boxing. You never watch something fucking after it happens. And you're like, oh, I heard this guy get knocked out. Oh, let's watch it. Like, what is this, fucking 1993 or something? Like, you watch shit live, so battle rap should be no fucking different. And I think, like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say the views have been affected a little bit. I don't think drastically, but I think looking at views as being this ultimate important thing is like sort of a pastime view. Views on YouTube aren't important, man. YouTube is not paying what everybody says it's paying. It's not paying that much. It's not important at all to get a fucking crazy viewed battle, man. The thing is to get an audience there, an audience in front of you. Like these people watching right now are more important to me than a fucking 100,000 viewed battle. Like getting a fan base that will watch what you do, whatever you do, that's more important to me. And you do that by cultivating an audience and by doing it live, making them feel like they're a part of the event. Oh, I'm there. I can fucking watch Hitman versus Tay-Rock as it's happening. Oh shit, this event is fucking kind of going south, and like everybody's talking about it online on Twitter. It becomes like this global fucking event. So I think it's pushed battle rap towards the better for sure, in my opinion.
So who are some of your favorite Ruin Your Day guests? You've done a bunch of watch lives up to this point. I mean, you've had Geechee on there, Ilmac, all these dudes. Who are some of your favorite guests?
I like them all. That's like asking who's your favorite child.
Right.
They're all great for different reasons, but I mean, obviously the regulars are like the people that I depend on. Ilmac and Geechee are like the two top regular guys right now. Like Geechee is always down to do a watch. I could probably hit him up right now and he'd be down to do one. Like, because he's fucking good at them. He's hilarious. He's fucking introspective. Everything about him on the show is amazing. I also like that he doesn't drink, because I don't drink now too, so I like don't feel the need and pressure to drink. Ilmac is also a good one because he's like highly fucking intelligent, and the way he breaks down battle rap makes me feel fucking stupid. I'm like, goddamn, how do you like know this? This is insane. You have like such an introspective mind. And then of course I like everybody that's been on the show. I like all the women that I've had on. I need to get more women on. I like everybody from out of town that's been on. Big K, Marv, Iron. I like Mickey Fax a lot. He told some fucking amazing stories about Math versus Dose that I thought was like absolutely incredible. I like everybody. I want to get more league owners on there. I want to get Organic on. I want to get Smack on really bad. I want to get Beasley on. I want to get on. When I go to London, I plan on just like fucking like doing watches 24/7. Like somehow not drinking, but we'll see about that.
So let's see what else we got here. So what would you say is probably the most memorable event you've ever done?
Battle Bay 5. Battle Bay 5. Like, no questions asked. At the time, that wasn't really a memorable event. Well, okay, at the time, it was a memorable event, but, like, you never really realize how classic and how important something is when it's happening until, like, years later. Like, Battle Bay 5, I remember just being like, oh, cool, another event down in the fucking books, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, Hollow and Pass, like, that was fun. Arsenal and Conceded was kind of crazy. Yellow Mac and Thesaurus was, like, a really good battle, probably one of the best ones I've ever seen live. And then when I look back on it in paper, I'm just like, fuck, man. Every single battle was good. Every fucking single battle was good. And you'll never, ever get an event like that. You'll never get an event where AVO battles Marv 1, where Conceded battles Conceded battles Arsenal, Hollow versus Pass, and then on the flip side, you get versus Reverse Live, Kruger versus Illusion Z. Then on the flip side of that, you get fucking a Thesaurus versus Ilmac, Fresco versus Kid Twist versus Madness, Pesci versus Tantrum, Organic versus Diz. It's like, there will never be something like that ever again. I think that's something so special, and I think that's why that event will never be replicated. Like, nothing like that will ever happen in the history of battle rap again. Granted, I didn't work on it, but I think another event that's like probably you could say is a historically impactful as Battle Bay 5 is Summer Madness 2. I think that event held the most weight for turning battle rap to like a crazy fucking like bigger than life thing of having Puff Daddy and Busta Rhymes there, Lux, Mook, Sirius Jones coming back to battle, Ines coming back to battle. Fucking nuts, man. That event was fucking really, really crazy. So yeah, I think Battle Bay 5, as far as like events I filmed, is like my favorite one on paper.
So have you ever had an event go like catastrophically wrong? Like just everything's gone wrong, things like that?
Yeah, definitely. There's been events that have. Virus went catastrophically wrong. I had to like fucking end the event. Like I was just like, I'm not filming this anymore. I'm leaving right now. Me and Liam Bagnall just bounced. We stopped a couple fights from happening after we turned the cameras off, and then we just fucking bounced. And I was like, oh, that's when I was like drinking during events too, so I was like even more angry. And I was just like, you'll never see this footage again! As I like get into a lift and like peel off like Joker, I'm like, ah! But yeah, that event went bad.
How does that hold on? How does that happen? Like, how does it go from? Oh,
I mean,
okay, we got.
I didn't want to film
then...
that event in the first place, though. I knew that bad shit was going to happen during that event. I mean, I don't really want to talk about what happened because it's like,
right.
But it's like, on paper, you knew something bad was going to happen. Like with the people dressing up as certain people, I was like, this is not a good look. This is a terrible idea. It's exploitative of racism, and I didn't really fuck with it. I kind of got pushed into filming it because Liam came out and he was filming it, and I'm like, okay, I'll fucking help you out. But that event went super south. I mean, I don't know, like Bola 4, I guess, went south because of Diz and Math. But the thing is, that whole event happened.
Right.
And then that was the end of the event.
Right.
So it's that whole event was super tight, and there was like really good battles at that event. So I wouldn't say that was ruined. I think those are the only two that like have had anything kind of weird happen. Oh, and MOB too. MOB, if you don't remember, Diz battled Arsenal, the rematch. Wait. No, not the rematch, the first one. And the light shut off in Diz's second, so he was rapping and it's just my camera light on him. And then they didn't finish the battle. So that, and then also Ilmac versus Ness were supposed to battle at that event. They battled in the parking lot, and surprisingly enough, that was the best battle of MOB because the environment was so much better. But yeah, I think those three were the only ones that have like kind of gone awry and gone south.
So what are some of the, like you broke down earlier, you know, what you have to do pre-production, during the event, post-production, you know, what are some of the hardships you have to go through through all that? You know, what are some of the difficulties that come with this job?
I mean, it being super stressful, it being like literally we're at these venues for like 16 hours and we're not like eating food or like nourishing ourselves. We're just like holding cameras and being like, and then it's also like, you know, I'm being driven by passion. Like Jeff, Ben, Phil, like all these guys that like don't really love battle rap like I do. I feel bad for them because it's like they're just going through the fucking works right now. And then when an event goes south, it's like that's even worse. And like I used to be like hella nervous about fights because of like, you know, camera equipment being damaged, but now I like don't fucking care. It's like, dude, it'll just like I've seen so many almost fights happen or so many fights happen during battle rap that I'm just like I'll just walk away or like I'll get in the middle and like just or walk away. You know, it's like not like anything bad's gonna happen. But yeah, I think that's the biggest one is just being there for so long, like being there for 18 hours and like not eating and just being like worn out. And then we've gotten to the point of like some of these URL events, like they're all over the country. So it's like we'll take a red eye out from LA on Friday night, land in Richmond, Virginia at 8 a.m., go straight to the venue, not go to a hotel, work the whole fucking day until like 1 a.m., go back to the hotel. By the time we get back to the hotel after packing up, it's 3 a.m. We got to get on a flight at 5 a.m. So we go straight to the airport. So we don't sleep for like 48 hours and work between that too. Right. So it's gnarly, man. It's fucking hella gnarly. But, you know, it's worth it for battle rap, right, guys?
You do it for the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, one of the things that I kind of notice when I'm covering an event, when I'm taking photos, I mean, I've got my eye like in my camera the whole time, you know, taking pictures of an event.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find that like I come away from that battle and I'm like, I don't remember any of the bars that were said in this moment. Do you even get to watch, as busy as you are, you're even busier than I am, you're the busiest man at an event, do you even get to watch any of the battles?
Mm-hmm. Now I do because it's like since I'm like a director now, I sit in the back with the pay-per-view like this screen's up and I have the switcher board and I'm like literally choosing what angles the viewers are seeing, like live editing it. So I'm like watching the battle and I'm like I like know the rhythm of battles, like oh, crowd reaction, boom, oh, this guy's about to switch up his flow here, like go to tight, then go to the wide, then go to the really wide, like so I'm like feeling the cadence and the flow of the battle. So it's like I do watch the battles now and I react heavily. Like you like during Reed versus Rex, I was fucking like yelling the whole time. I was fucking screaming like a fucking little girl, dude. That battle was fucking amazing. But yeah, no, I watch the battles now. Thankfully, like back in the day when I was doing grind time and stuff, I was like giggling hella. Like there was like an AVO giggle. Like I would laugh at like fucking bars. And like Grizzlemania 2, I was all fucking wasted, so I was like fucking yelling and shit and like telling people to shut the fuck up and like just being like fucking hella rambunctious. You can like hear it in the footage too.
Have you put that into a Ruin Your Day yet? Like all these AVO moments of you.
Somebody
like
did have a compilation of all the times I've laughed when I like somebody made it one of the first times I quit battling. So they made that compilation. I don't know if it exists still, but that would be funny to dig up. But yeah, maybe I'll make a compilation of all the times I've like said some weird shit in battle rap.
Because you got that one where what was it like? The dude behind the camera's reacting, and then the battle's like, dude, you're the fucking cameraman, you know?
Oh, the Daily Spice? Yeah, I know. Yeah. You're doing too much. You're a cameraman, man. Because he's the only one that reacts. Yeah, that's fucking amazing. That guy was just hella bitter because he was getting fucking roasted in that battle. But yeah, I definitely need to make that compilation. Yeah, Pigside pointed out a funny one in Dumbfounded versus PH, RIP. When PH is choking, I go freestyle. I'm like, freestyle, man. Like I'm like trying to help him out, you know. I'm like, freestyle, go, don't choke, come on, PH. And I also did that with Diz and Locksmith when Diz is like, I fucked the fuck up, and then like he just like paces around. I'm like, come on, Diz, freestyle. So yeah, that's some of the funny shit I've said in battle rap.
Do you have a like some of your favorite battle rappers? Do you have a top 5? You know, something like that.
They alternate. Like, I don't know. That's hard for me to call. Just off the top of my head right now, the people that I love: Ilmax, Soul, Hollow, Pass, Reed Dallas. And then there's tons of other people. Like Twerk is like one of my favorite right now too. I also like Rex a lot. And yeah, I mean Thesaurus, all those cats. I think Hollow's the best in the world. He's the GOAT. I don't think I don't think there will be somebody that's better than him for a very long time. He's the best at like he's not the best, but he's exceptionally very good at everything in battle rap. And there's nobody else like that. There's people that are the best at one thing, like performers, fucking Hitman, Rock, even Reed, Flo, Reed, Ines, but like Hollow overall is like, he's a fucking 9 at everything, and that's why I think he's the GOAT.
Do you have like favorite battles of all time? Like something that, like, if you had a go-to battle to watch or something like that, if you had a battle that you had to show someone who didn't know what battle rap was.
Ooh, but that's different though. Like my favorite battles are probably not something I would show somebody that like didn't know anything about battle rap. I think I have like guilty pleasure battles, and I'm like, this is my favorite battle, but I know it's not like the best battle. I think a battle that I would show somebody that knew nothing about battle rap would be a kind of a funnier battle. There'd be 3. I would show them, oddly enough, they both involve Dumbfounded. It'd be Dumbfounded versus Tantrum, Dumbfounded versus Conceited. Then I would probably show them Roan versus Pat Stay, the compliment battle. I think those are the easiest things to kind of understand what's going on in battle rap, and then I would get into more of like, oh, here's the street demographic, that's what this is about, because I think a lot of people, when they tune into that, they're like, oh, they're just talking about how they'll shoot the other guy. This isn't fucking like, PC or whatever. They don't like appreciate the actual art form behind it. So yeah, I would show somebody that, but those are definitely like not my like favorite battles. I think some of my favorite battles are like super guilty pleasures. Like my favorite battle to watch is Murder Mook versus Young Hot, because Mook fucking destroys Young Hot. I love everything about Mook's performance in that. I'm a huge Mook fan too, by the way. I think Mook is going to beat Verb this weekend.
You heard it here first, folks.
I think I'm not alone in that. I think I talked with Mickey Fax about it. Mickey Fax said that he thinks Mook is going to win too.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I mean, I just think that he chose Verb because Verb has probably the worst New York record out of anybody who goes to New York. You know what I'm saying? Every time he's battling in New York against someone from New York, especially against Harlem, like Clips, Rex, Shine, he gets bodied by all of them. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I felt like it's an easy win for Mook in a way. Unless Verb comes something crazy, and unless Mook doesn't meet expectations.
The thing too, though, is that Verb has had like the most god moments out of any battle rapper. Period. He had the Hey Big Gerald, which is like probably the most epic moment in battle rap. Period. The most. Everything about that is like perfect how he executed that. I wish he would have ended his round there, because it would have been like, fuck, that's a perfect goddamn round. And then he has the Guardian Angels line, and the Beam Me Up line.
Extensions needed. Weave in that. Yeah, that's my favorite one. That's my favorite Verb moment.
But the thing is, he's like, in the past couple battles, he's like missing something. He's missing, like, I don't even know it, because I'm like, oh, he's not loud enough, he's not aggressive enough. But he's gotten aggressive in plenty of battles. He was aggressive against Thesaurus. He's aggressive, I think, against a couple people on RBE. But he's still like, I'm just like, it's not like there, Even when he battled Twerk, I was like, his writing was crazy in it. But I'm just like, the performance is like, it kind of just like leaves a little bit to be desired, and there's not that like, I don't want to say it's hunger, but it's like there's just something not there. And I think that's something that Mook will always have, and I think that will probably trump Verb's performance. No pun intended.
So I've seen battle rap. I've seen a lot of different mainstream outlets try and like take some of the things that battle rap does and do something with it. You've seen, I think it was like CBS, where you have Drop the Mic. They get celebrities do it. They got Wildin' Out, of course, with Hitman. And they actually get real battle rappers, Hitman and Conceited and Clips. Do you think that battle rap in the form that it's in could cross over to the mainstream? Do you think that we could get like some kind of mainstream recognition in the way that it is, 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, that kind of thing, the street aspect of it? Do you think that could eventually cross over?
It could happen. It already has. It has happened. Like Hollow and Joe Budden was on Comcast. It was on like a legit pay-per-view. Like you buy it on fucking TV. But the thing is, I don't think it's necessary for the culture, and I don't think it is something that everybody needs to love. It's like things like sports, fighting, everybody can get into it because everybody can understand a fight. Everybody can understand a sport, points, winning. It's like very like black and white. You got knocked out, you lose. Oh, you scored, you win. You know, battle rap is super subjective, like insanely subjective, and it's also like very niche based, and you have to have a concept of hip hop a little bit, you know. So I don't think it really needs to get there. I think if anything, like what Smack is doing, what King of the Dot is doing, what everybody else is doing is fucking 1,000% what we should be doing. I mean, for God's sakes, like fucking Floyd Mayweather was at SM7, you know. It's like the biggest athlete in the fucking, like in the highest paid athlete in history was at a fucking battle event, you know. It's like you have every athlete watching this shit. You have Drake, the fucking biggest hip hop artist in the world, fucking Instagramming twerk versus Verb. He sponsors he fucking threw a goddamn event with King of the Dot. He was there for every single battle too. I was right below him, and his head was poking out from the fucking like opera like window he was in. I don't think it needs that mainstream thing, and I think if anything, it might, like, you know, of course, like stain the product a little bit, just because it's like to get it to the masses, you would have to kind of like cut corners certain ways, and it would like devaluate the authenticity, I think, in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think it really needs to get there. I think it can, of course, it can. And I definitely think the audience is there, but I don't really want to see it do that. You know, I want to see battle rap keep doing what it's doing, and I think it's on a good path right now.
So you were recently just telling me about, you know, what you plan on doing with Ruin Your Day.
Yeah.
But what I want to know about is, when are we going to get a Ruin Your Day event? I've heard, you know, that's kind of been going around in the Facebook group a little bit. That's something that people are asking for. That you know, people are asking, what would we have if it was a Ruin? What battles would we have? You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. That's kind of being thrown around. So is there a possibility of that happening?
Yeah, there is definitely. I'm being very careful about it, because at the end of the day, Ruin Your Day is completely, you know, invested through my pocket, and I'm still always teetering on the edge of being broke all the time by putting all my money into battle rap. So I'm definitely not trying to like just throw a big event to compete with RB and Smack and King of the Dot. I don't want to do that at all. If anything, my idea was to have a small, I don't know if I want to call it an event. I want a small battle that's free. That's free to anybody that wants to come in Los Angeles. It's free to stream too. You can watch it, and then it's paid for by donations. People that are watching it, if you like this, donate like however much you want. It could be a dollar all the way up to whatever you can afford, and that's how it'd be paid for. And I wanted to have it kind of be smaller cats that, like, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays are being ignored, like the West Coast. Ever since I stopped doing the bunker, there's a lot of cats out here that just, they kind of don't have a home. They're like not being booked a lot. And like, for example, look how much Geechee took off, you know, like, and I knew that fool had star power from ever since like my little focus group of like Rory, Chris, Patrick, and Sean, who I talk to every day, like some of my best friends. Like, they put me on to like the Spot, Geechee, Ron Compton, Yak the Rippa, Saint, and that's why I booked them at that event, at the bunker event. And like, there's so many more people like that in LA that have that star power, that they just need that look. They just need eyes on them. Like, even I kind of thought Geechee actually took too long for people to clue into how good he was, because it was like that battle that you were there for Glue Easy. I was like, this is like battle of the fucking year, man. This battle is fucking amazing on both sides. Both of those guys killed it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of like maybe do that, like kind of give lesser known people a little bit more of a shine. I want to do fun battles too at the same time. I don't want to take it too serious, and I don't want to book people that are going to cost an arm and a leg too. So yeah, you'll probably see a Ruin Your Day event pretty soon. I also want to do roasts of battle rappers. I think the first one that's gonna be roasted is me. I think I'm gonna do a roast for myself, which is kind of like self-absorbed, but at the same time, I just think it's the easiest one to do. I'm like, yeah, you can fucking make fun of me. I will not take it personally. I'm probably gonna do that on November 13th, which is my birthday. So when I turn 34, I'm gonna have like a bunch of people come out and roast. I want Thesaurus, Ilmac, Lush, all the people that are pretty close to me, know me good, to like roast me, and I want to have it like look like a legit show. I want to get like a nice venue, like dress it up like Comedy Central and shit.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. So there's more plans for like different sort of content in RYD. So I'm excited for the future.
You've had a lot of singles make their debut on Ruin Your Day, a lot of music videos. What's the chances of a Ruin Your Day album coming out too? I mean, you got guys like Ilmac and guys like Geechee who put their music on here. I mean, what's the chances of that kind of thing happening too?
Well, that's happening actually pretty soon, and it's kind of my fault because it's like my friend Patrick has been the liaison and the head creative behind that. We're releasing a Ruin Your Day mixtape pretty soon, and we have 12 tracks. It's like I don't want to say who's on it, but they're really fucking good, and I'm going to film a couple music videos for it, and we're going to start putting out mixtapes pretty often. It's called Ruin Your Day Radio. So, yeah, I just want to put out, like, a ton of mixtapes, like, because, yeah, we do a ton of music videos, and I still love doing music videos because all these people are talented musicians, like, even, like, Geechee, he has hella good music, and people, like, never knew that he also was a great rapper until, like, that I always forget what the fucking actual song is called that I just did because I always call it Geechee's Weekend or Weekend at Geechee's, but it's something like Say No More or something like that. But that song came out and that song did hella good, and it's out on Bail Freestyle too that he put out that we put on the channel did hella good too. So yeah, I definitely want to do more like albums like that, but we're not gonna sell them; they're gonna be for free. So it's just all about promoting the artist at the end of the day. So yeah, that's in the tank. Oh, and Frack's okay. Frack, I'll say you're on the fucking mixtape. Frack and Pass have a song that I'm gonna film a music video for. That's gonna be the first music video that drops.
There's actually a lot more good battle rappers who make music at the same time. Like, they make actually really good music.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a chance of a battle rapper actually making it, like, really crossing over? Like we were talking about, battle rap crossing mainstream. But what about a battle rapper's music crossing into?
I think Surf is gonna cross over really soon. I think Surf is legit. I think he already crossed over, man. Like, when he got shot, horrible that he went through that. But, like, I remember the Source tweet, like, making a fucking, like, thing about it. Everybody was going crazy about it. And I'm like, damn, Surf is, like, legit fucking famous, man. He's, like, the man. So I think Surf has already done that. Hitman has done that. Conceited is a fucking goddamn, like, not for his music, but he's a goddamn fucking meme. Like, that fool's a fucking meme.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
I promise you, there's a million people who use that on a regular
basis.
Yeah, have
and
no idea. Who
yeah, exactly. I remember seeing that for the first time and being like, "What the fuck?" And like people that like aren't battle rappers on my Twitter feed being like tweeting that, I was like, "Holy shit!" I think Geechee has a lot of potential too to cross over. Yeah, there's tons of people like that have like high potentials of being actual musicians and breaking out. But I think also